I think we're ready to start this in just a moment, guys. Bum, 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 jump. Hello, Felix. Gotta wait for a few people to join. All right, let's get this started, shall we? Hello and welcome. It is what, July the 7th already? Hi. Glad to have you joining me, Kelly and Felix. You guys are already joining me, and trust me, many more will join. The number's been growing dramatically, and for a variety of reasons. A, it's pretty funny, and B, we also cover some really serious stuff. You'll notice up here, these are all new designs, okay? These are all new designs of my T-shirt line. Okay, you can buy these on T-shirts. You can buy these on mugs. You can buy these on coffee mugs, all this stuff. Kelly, good to have you back. Hashtag done with the NBA. Hashtag done with the NFL. Those are a couple of them because I'm done with the NFL. I'm going to get a hashtag done with the NFL shirt, and I'm going to wear that this year, and I'm going to burn or give away my jerseys. Done with them. I'll start listening when you stop burning Chanel stuff. Okay, so those are all available right now at tpublic.com/conservatees. The on the bottom here, it'll scroll across here so you can see it. There's a bunch of stuff here on the bottom right below me here. There's Twitter at Rob Carson. Check out, here we go, Rob's show on, I'm going to speed that up a little bit. I'm going to do something a little cool here. Hold on, I'm going to show you this kind of cool. I'm going to speed that up so you can read a little bit faster. Because there is much to see. Hold on, follow. Scroll. Fast. Hold on. I'll get it. Speed. There we go. Speed. Let's speed it up a little bit. Let's go to like 20. There we go. That's better. Isn't that nice? Look what I just did there. Anyway, you can order these. Because a good friend of mine named Ken Gelosi comes up with those designs, and they're amazing, and they're awesome. And if you're done with the NFL and you're not going to watch this year, because I'm not going to, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of being told that I'm privileged, even though I live in a little house, and I drive 2 old cars, and I've got I live paycheck to paycheck. I'm tired of being told by billionaire athletes that I am privileged, and I'm not certainly going to stand for a black national anthem, the first game of the season. So that's not going to happen. This court is bothering me. See how well prepared I am? My God in heaven. Hello, Candy. Hello, John. Hello, Brian. Okay, let's get started, shall we? I'm going to start with something that really pissed me off today, and it's not all, it's not all angry tonight, but there's some anger because I'm really tired of watching my country burn. I'm really, really, really tired of this childish temper tantrum that's been going on in the country for a couple of weeks, and I will not stand for it. I will not stand. I will, if I have to, take up arms. With regard to protecting things like the country as founded, Mount Rushmore, and whatnot. Confederate monuments, I could give a rat's behind about. If you want to tear down a Confederate monument, do it with a vote. But as far as you going and tearing down something without anyone's permission, your ass needs to go to jail. And if it's a federal monument, then you go to jail for 10 years like the president has said. This is nonsense. And it needs to stop now, and the children need to be spanked. All right. Well, I got a couple different Facebook pages going. Hello, Beth. Good to have you joining me tonight. Thank you. I want to mention this real quick here because the reopening of the U.S. economy in May saw a frenetic pace of hiring like never seen before in a month. Now, we've seen this with hiring. We've seen this with retail sales. We've seen them with the greatest month of job growth the last month, which was 3.8 million jobs in one freaking month. So the American people will not be held down. They will not be held down. They will not be told they have to do this and they have to do that, and they have to shut their restaurants and they have to shut down their health clubs, and they can go to liquor stores and they can go to Home Depot and they can go to grocery stores, but they can't go into a clothing store. And malls were closed and concerts had not been held. When is the last time I heard about a concert? There was a country concert the other day. There's no Broadway until 2021. Who cares about New York? Screw New York. All the graduation ceremonies that we lost, the college NBA or the college basketball season for both men and women, but particularly men because KU could have gone all the way. My son goes to KU, and the dreams of all of those people, all of those seniors, high school, college, and whatnot, ruined because of nonsense. The number of hires, which includes employees rehired to jobs in businesses shuttered during lockdown, soared record 2.4 million to 6.5 million, the highest monthly number ever recorded in data stretching back to the turn of the century. The hires rate hit a record high of 4.9% from 3.1 in April. The number of jobs available but unfilled, known as openings, surged to 5.4 million. People are coming back. Manufacturing hired 426,000. The most since April of 2001. Layoffs fell to 118,000 around the pre-pandemic levels and over 630,000 in April and March. Okay? Construction hired 673,000, the highest on record, up from 246,000. We will not be held down. The lowest on record, layoffs and discharges fell to 174,000, the lowest level since June of 2019. Unless you're in radio, and I'm not in there anymore. Not saying that I won't eventually, but who the hell knows? And at this point, who the hell cares? Hello, Maureen. Hello. I have some really funny crap tonight. Oh, my God. I've got some funny crap. There was this Stone Mountain, Georgia big protest, and Black Panthers came out and threatened to, leave the country or demanded that Texas be turned over to them so they can have their own black union and all this stuff. Turns out they weren't the Black Panthers. Oh, it's really good. It's like Jussie Smollett actually put the thing together. You're going to love this. It's really funny. And then there's some really bad news coming out of Atlanta and New York, and we'll get to that because, when you say that you're going to defund the police, what does that do to criminals? Criminals go, yay, you guys are idiots. In New York, they have this no bail policy. You can rob a bank, you go into jail, they book you, and then they let you go, and you can go rob another bank. It's insanity. And the crime rates have gone through the ceiling, and innocent people are suffering in places like Chicago and New York and St. Louis and L.A. and Atlanta. The National Guard, the governor of Georgia said, we're going to send the National Guard into Atlanta because a little 8-year-old girl was killed at a Black Lives Matter protest by a Black Lives Matter member who killed a black girl while her mom was in the car. We'll get to all of that. I'm so done with this. So done with it. Ryan, hello. Beth, hello. Kelly, hello. Maureen and Greg, hello. So this is the end game of the left in this country. What they are attempting to do here is nothing to do with... Can you name the guy who died in Minneapolis because the police officer murdered him? Can you do it? Do you remember his name? Does anybody remember his name? Do. Democrats could not remember the other day. Let me see. I have this. This is really funny. The other day, let's see if I still have it. None of the Democrats could remember his name. Let me see if it's still here because I just thought it was. Yeah, here it is. This is Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer the other day talking about because they're doing the police reform bill. The Republicans came up with it, and the Democrats voted it down because whatever, and because they don't want the country to heal. That said, here is Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer attempting to memorialize and remember the man's name who started all of this because it's so important that we remember the man who died in Minneapolis. We have to remember his name. If we don't remember his name, it's an insult to his life. Here they are.
To the Congressional Black Caucus who have shaped the bill. But I only will do that if you tell me that this legislation is worthy of George Kirby's name. And he said it is. Yeah,
it's not... It's not George Kirby. It's George Floyd. George Floyd.
And so we're very proud.
Didn't even correct herself. She has no clue. She thinks it's George Kirby.
Very proud to carry that.
Very clever.
Who do you believe when it comes to civil rights and police accountability? Mitch McConnell or the lawyer for the families of Floyd Taylor?
No, it's George Floyd. George Floyd is his name.
George Taylor.
No. It's George Floyd. George Floyd. Just write that. Just write it down on that piece of paper in front of you.
George Floyd.
George Floyd.
And Breonna Taylor.
Yeah. I don't know who it is, and it doesn't matter. Here's the deal. It's not about George Floyd anymore. It ended being about George Floyd like a week after it happened. And then Black Lives Matter got involved. And Black Lives Matter, actually, they got involved immediately. Black Lives Matter, we discovered, is a Marxist organization. They are not there to protect black people, and they are not concerned with black people killed by police. It has nothing to do with it. They are a Marxist organization bent on overturning the country. Marx, communism, socialism killed 100 million people last century. It is the most anti-religion, particularly anti-Christian. Millions, tens of millions of Christians murdered by Marxist communist socialists. Jews, German Socialist Workers' Party, anybody? Also known as the Nazis. Yeah. Are you down with that? Are you down with that, BLM protesters? Are you cool with it? Because I know some people are. I know some people are. And I'm going to give proof positive of that right now, because Ilhan Omar, who left her home country, her family were very privileged in her home country, and they left the country because the country was being overthrown, and her parents and her, because they were spoiled proletariat, would probably have been jailed or murdered. But she grew up in a life of privilege, came to the United States, and now she's spouting this. Now this is what she's saying. She's spouting revolutionary, an overturn of this government from the foundation. All right, this is this brother marrying fraud. Whose organization steals money. Her campaign has stolen money, and she married her frigging brother to get him to the country. Here she is talking about how the country needs to change. First of all, she has no right whatsoever to demand a effing thing from this country.
As long as our economy and political systems prioritize profit without considering who is profiting,
that's meaningless. It means nothing. And by the way, profit is what has driven this country to be the greatest engine of individual liberty and economic freedom in the history of mankind. If it weren't for America, there would probably still be serf cultures. Countries like Japan might still be medieval. There might be still nomadic tribes around the world. We wouldn't have maybe not have flight or the computer or who knows. We certainly wouldn't have rock and roll or baseball or cool football.
Who is being shut out?
No, who's being shut out? I want to know who's being shut out in this country. Here's the deal. I made this very controversial statement the other day. Nothing is holding you back in this country. The only thing that holds you back in this country are your own personal failings and your own poor life decisions. That's it.
Perpetuate this inequality. So we cannot stop at criminal justice system. We must begin the work of dismantling the whole system of oppression wherever we find it. Okay,
what the fudge does that mean?
Of dismantling the whole system of oppression wherever we find it.
Okay, you see, that is that's gobbledygook. That's faculty lounge mental masturbation. That's what that's all about. Hello, Mark. Mark, I'm going to try and get to your son's really funny video. I haven't had a chance to convert it yet, but I want a very funny video. I'll try to get to it very shortly. Trust me, it's hilarious. This kid needed a mask to go in a grocery store, and he didn't have anything. And when you see what he did, it's hilarious. Hello, Barry. Good to see you, my brother. Good to see you as well. All right. This is the court of revolutionary bullshit that's going on in the country. You are seeing not only the people tearing down statues, including statues, the most idiotic. We've seen Abraham Lincoln statues, Frederick Douglass statue in Rochester, New York. Frederick Douglass, who was a face of the abolitionist movement, a black man, a revolutionary, a historical figure, and for some inane, idiotic reason, they took down a statue of him in Rochester, New York. Of course, all the Christopher Columbus statues have been coming down, and then it's moving into the Thomas Jefferson statues. And it's moving to other statues. And now they want to take down Mount Rushmore. And here's what I have to say to you who decide you think you want to take down Mount Rushmore. Bring it. Bring it, because I will be a part of the armed group, physically and intellectually, to defend that monument. I mean it. And I will do so with the country as well. By the way, I did post on hi there, Nick, good to see you again, and Greg, it's nice to see you. I did post a funny video today on Facebook, and everybody took it entirely too seriously. I'm going to have to try and grab that at some point, because I put up a funny video today on Facebook. Let me see if I can do this without causing any major issues. Hold on, let me do this, hold on. I put up a video today that what I did was I said that there was a protest in front of my house, Black Lives Matter protest in front of my house, and I was joking. I was joking. Oh, here we go. Hold on. I gotta mute this. Hold on. Save this video as Marco Kid. Just give me a second, okay? I gotta trust me on this. So I posted this video. Let me find it. It's on my Facebook page. And I said that Black Lives Matter had appeared on my front lawn, and while I was in my house, they tore down a piece of statuary, and people took it entirely too seriously. I was just joking. I'm going to go ahead and grab it here. I'm going to save it as a video. Pause show video URL. But everybody at work was like, "Rob, what the hell happened at your house, man? What the hell happened at your house?" And I said, "Oh, dude, I was joking." So let me find it here. I apologize. I should have downloaded this ahead of time, but I didn't. I was doing other crap. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. Okay, statue. Tear down. There we go. All right. Sorry, I got to convert video to MP4 and all this crap. Anyway, so here's what I did this morning. I made a parody, and everybody thought I was very serious about this. That I had a Black Lives Matter and an Antifa rally in front of my house, because all they're doing, they're tearing down all these statues around the country. So I decided to say they tore down a statue in front of my house, and it's actually.
So last night I came out here to my home in suburban Kansas City. And I had heard a minor commotion, some chants or something. I'm not sure exactly what it was. It was a 1, 2, 3, 4 something. I don't know. And I came out of my statue of St. Francis of Assisi had been knocked over. Its nose had been broken, apparently.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that these were probably BLM or Antifa protesters. They knocked the statue over after some considerable effort. I believe they were trying to drag the statue somewhere, but because many of them are vegan, they lack the physical strength to do it. I can only think that this is some sort of a protest against white characters of history being depicted as lawn ornamentia.
Yeah.
It's ugly, but I'm going to do my very best to either stand this back up again or possibly move it to a museum.
Okay, so that was what I posted today, and people at work were like, "Dude, I heard the Black Lives Matter went to your house." So that was it. It was a parody. It was satire. So anyway, maybe it just didn't surprise anybody. People wanted to come to my house and wreck it. I don't know what the hell. Anyway, it was funny. All right, Marco, I do have to share this. This is a little note of levity here. Let me see if I can find. Where'd it go? Hold on. Oh yeah, here it is. So this is my friend Marco's son. This is so funny. So his son, we've got to wear stupid masks and everything now. It's idiotic. And so Marco's son goes in, and he's like, and the guy at the 7-Eleven goes, you can't come in here unless you have a mask on. So he goes out of the car. I don't know if it's Marco. You got another kid that was on diapers. So his son comes in with this. Okay. All right, let's play that again. Huh? Okay, that's a swimmy diaper. All right, it's very creative. Look at it. He's got where the kid's leg. He does this, and he comes in. This is going viral. Okay, you got to share this. It's on my, but you've got to share this. He just can't. Watch this again. And that's pretty clever for a 13-year-old kid, right? Man. Oh, Paul says I had to pull over to say how funny that is. Well, Paul, be careful driving and watching the podcast, will you? Anyway, Marco, your kid's going to be famous. I'm going to put him on my show on Newsmax TV this weekend because that is really funny. Hi, Amy. How are you? Oh, okay. I gotta do this. Tammy Duckworth is the senator. And she was on, I don't know what they have, CNN, MSNBC, whatever, they're all the same. And so now we're going after everything right now. This is a Marxist movement. This is the wet dream of the class of 1968. Or in Russia, the class of 1918. And they're trying to bring it to America, and they're really trying to tear down everything. Now, here's the thing. First of all, it's laughable. Second of all, it would be really funny if it weren't for so much effing destruction, so much division, so much ugliness that's happening, and because it's not going to happen. This will not become a Marxist nation. If anything, part of it will break off, and you can go off to your little Marxist hell, and you'll be crawling over the wall to get back here within months. But that isn't going to happen. It isn't going to happen because too many of us are better armed intellectually and physically. Thank you very much. And it just won't happen. We all haven't lost our minds. That said, everything is under attack. Everything is under attack, including Frederick Douglass, of all things, including Abraham Lincoln, dear God in heaven. You mindless, idiotic, brainwashed twinks from hell who went to college and earned a worthless degree and can't get a job because there's nothing out there in women's studies or lesbian poetry or whatever the hell you decided to take in college. There's nothing there. You're never going to be rich because you don't invent anything. You don't have any ideas of your own, and your worthless degree will create nothing. It's nothing. And you played soccer for 10 years, and you hit the soccer ball with your head too many times, and you got participation trophies, even though you sucked at what you did. And now the generation that they had to create a separate grocery checkout line with no candy for. That's what I say. There is a separate grocery store candy-free aisle because some parents can't effing say no. And right now we have those kids leading these protests. You ever been to a store and you see a kid laying down on the ground and he cries, and your mom and dad literally have to take the kid outside? That's what we're dealing with these Black Lives Matter. Yes, I said Black Lives Matter, terrorist organization, terrorist Marxist organization. Nothing good about it. Same way with Antifa. Nothing good about it. And people like Doug, you don't believe they exist. Doug, you also, you're an idiot. Okay? There you go. Too much destruction has been done. Too many logos have been sewn on uniforms. Too many people have worn the outfit. Too many people have showed up for Occupy. Too many people have showed up and burned stuff and torn down things for you to deny that Antifa exists. That said, here is Tammy Duckworth saying that basically George Washington was evil, and even though he created the greatest economic of individual and economic freedom in the history of mankind and the only true democracy in over 2,000 years of humankind history, that he has to go.
Traitors.
So that might be true, but George Washington, I don't think anybody would call him a traitor, and there are moves by some to remove statues of him. Is that a good idea?
I think we should listen to everybody. I think we should listen to...
I think we should listen to the everybody. Is that like a collective, everybody?
To the argument there. But remember that the president at Mount Rushmore was standing on ground that was stolen from Native Americans who had... Okay,
all right. I'm not going to do this again. I'm just going to say it right now that nomadic tribes have roamed the world for centuries, and the land in this world has been seized by individuals. It has moved from ownership to ownership. I am asking you to name one Native American today. Give me his name tell me his ancient relative and the plot of land that he owned, and then we'll talk. Yes, what happened in our country's founding, there was a lot of ugliness. I get it. But it does no good to go back 200 years ago and say that some doofus who doesn't have a job in 2020 deserves the land where Mount Rushmore is. Sorry, that's the cruel truth. I guess I'm a hater. I guess I'm a racist. But get over it. I'm sorry. Okay, my ancestors, we didn't come here till the 1920s. My family, I found it is the Getz family. There's a couple of other names. We came over. They came over from Germany and England and Ireland and all that stuff, and never owned slaves. I would assume that there is some land in England that my great grandfather could lay claim to because maybe some English lord took it away from him. But it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Actually been given that land during a treaty. And again, let's talk about the greater context of where we are in our country right now.
No, let's not actually. Here's the greater context of where we're in our country. We got a bunch of spoiled, entitled a-holes with worthless degrees who've been taught that socialism good, even though it killed 100 million people last century, and they are doomed to repeat it because they're effing morons. And then you got the other people. The other day, Donald Trump delivered a brilliant speech at Mount Rushmore, defending our history, defending those who've died for this country of all colors and creeds, defending those who've made gigantic strides in science and athletics and entertainment and technology of all colors. And have made this the greatest country in the history of mankind. And yes, it has always it has had its dark spots, but it is a great country, and it has been a great country. Don't ever say that America was never great. If you don't think America was great, please go live in Angola. Please go live in North Korea. Please go there. Please go to Cuba and experience their greatness. And I mean it. Get the fuck out. Go. Because I'm not going to let you take it over, Ilhan Omar, with your failed socialistic, communistic, faculty lounge, mental masturbation theory that you could make communism finally work. Because the body count is too effing great. And we're not going to do it here. Thank you. Hello, Doctor. How are you? Hello, Beth. How are you? And, wow, look at all the people joining. Hell yeah. And Carol. Carol is with us tonight. This is funny. So there was a big march, a big Black Panther march. And it was at Stone Mountain, Georgia. And apparently a small knot of charismatic young people kept getting photographed. And they were members of the Black Panthers, and they looked the part with their all black attire and black berets adorned with a cat head patch. The leader was a tall, thin black woman armed with an assault rifle and a determined look. And the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, they took pictures of these people as they marched into Stone Mountain, Georgia. Here they are, just marching. And then they came in and they said that they wanted a separate black nation. And they played. I mean, it was very Power to the People. It was very 1968 all over again. And they were marching not in a very good form. I noticed if they really were like a group, they would have much better form, and they'd know how to hold their weapons. That said, I want you to watch this. So here they come marching in. Here they come marching in. The Black Panthers marching in. Hey, okay, so like her. Okay. Really? Okay. There's a guy there. There's a woman, doesn't have her shoulder strap on correctly. It should be the other. It's just on her right shoulder. Never has carried one like that before. Anyway, we'll move forward here a little bit more. There you got their mask on. Some of them have berets on. Hey, power to the black power. There you go. You got to say black power. Yeah, I don't think that kind of. There's the monument they want to tear down. And I'm not big on the monument. I don't think that we should memorialize treasonous people who tried to overthrow the country. And I understand. I get it.
So to the boogie boys, the 3%.
Oh, listen to this. Listen to this doofus. This is great.
You made blacks come out. I don't see no.
I will tell you, there is some coarse language.
White militia. So to the boogie boys, the 3%ers, and all the rest of you scared ass rednecks.
I'm not a scared ass redneck. I don't think I'm a redneck.
We here. Where the f you at? We in your house. Let's go. NFAC, mother.
And there's the Klan. I don't know what the hell that's all about, but anyway. So, yeah, so they were there, and I'm going to remove that. And let me tell you a few things about the group. Apparently, they analyzed some of the Instagram photos of these people, and activists on Twitter sussed out the group was comprised of models and actors from Atlanta's film and entertainment industries. This is great. This is great. So a Twitter user who goes by Wolf the Red identified them for their Instagram accounts, where we found the group modeling haute couture and publicizing their film credits, but zero prior demonstrations, no posts with guns, no calls to action. This is like central casting. This is like Jussie Smollett. This is just fantastic. So the AJC, Atlanta Journal-Constitution, reached out to the members of the group, including Whitney Oney, the striking woman who drew so much attention. Oney, an Atlantis-based graphic designer and model, said the recent protests were not her first time taking to the street. She said it started with Trayvon Martin. After that, George Floyd. She said it was important to use her voice, so what she did, she put out a casting call for people to dress like Black Panthers and go to Stone Mountain, Georgia. And apparently, this is what she said. The outfits, they pulled inspiration from the Black Panthers. It was mostly black and leather. Pleather. Some of us are vegans and vegetarians. The patch that they wore was a Black Panther patch. It wasn't. It was just it was a service patch for the 66th Infantry, the U.S. Army Division during World War II. Okay, Spike G., who works in the Atlanta movie industry but who declined to give his real name, said he picked the patches up at an Army surplus store. He said, I didn't want to buy any original Black Panther Party logo. I love what they stood for, but I didn't want to offend them until I got them their blessing. Okay, so these people were, it was like a casting call, where you do an audition, right? I do those all the time. I do casting calls for voice work, and you read the voice and all that, and you come in and you sit down and you go, okay, can you just go ahead and read the script there? And the guy's like, death to all white people, and we must have death to the tyranny of America and black power. Okay, next. Thank you very much. Can I leave my resume, my headshot? Do you have my headshot? Okay, super. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Bye. Call me. Wow. That is so good. That is so good. That is so good. So I didn't get a chance to watch Hamilton this weekend. I want to watch Hamilton. I want to watch the music Hamilton. I hear it's wonderful. But the calls have been made to cancel Hamilton, even though this thing was made a gigantic hit by, I can't remember the guy's name, but, it grossed, $1 billion worldwide, the musical. And it has been giant. It was cast by African Americans. I haven't seen it. I'll just tell you, I'm Lin-Manuel Miranda. And he issued an apology to fans of Hamilton for the Broadway show's failure to publicly denounce systemic racism sooner, even though he has become rich beyond his wildest dreams and beyond the wildest dreams of West Virginia coal miners who are probably white. Okay, and I'm just saying, really? Okay. So anyway, there have been calls to cancel it. Jamu Baraka, an international human rights activist, organizer, political analyst, wrote, the play and now movie Hamilton is racist buffoonery and revisionist history meant to make liberal white folks feel good about the collaboration with the colonial project known as the U.S. and its racist imperialist project abroad. Miranda should concentrate on feeling sick Puerto Rico, whatever that means. Anyway, cancel Hamilton has grown on Twitter, and it's not going to happen. I'm going to order it. I'm going to pay for it. Hello, Floyd. Hello, David and Beth. Good to see you guys here tonight on the show. And please, if you would, share with others. Okay, I'm going to grab that real quick here. All righty. So, a lot of things happened with regard to shootings and violence in our nation's biggest cities. I believe another 17 people died in Chicago over the weekend. I think 5 children altogether died this weekend. And I'll get to them then in a couple of seconds. But the press met, and there was a press conference with Kayleigh McEnany, the spokesperson for the White House. And they asked a lot of questions about Stone Mountain, Georgia, and Mount Rushmore, and defending Confederate statues. And they didn't say an effing word about the real black lives that are being lost in the country. And finally, at the very end of the press conference, she had enough of it and said, hey, why didn't you ask me about this?
And finally, I'd end with this. I was asked probably 12 questions about the Confederate flag. This president's focused on action, and I'm a little dismayed that I didn't receive one question on the deaths that we got in this country this weekend. I didn't receive one question about New York City shootings doubling for the 3rd straight week.
Because those black lives don't matter.
And over the last 7 days, shootings skyrocket by 142%. Not one question.
Because Al Sharpton's not going to any of those funerals.
I didn't receive one question about 5 children who were killed, and I'll leave you with this.
Because the police didn't do it.
This remark by a dad, it broke my heart. A dad of an 8-year-old lost in Atlanta this weekend. They say Black Lives Matters. You killed a child. She didn't do nothing to nobody, was his quote. We need to be focused on securing our streets, making sure no lives are lost, because all Black lives matter. That of David Dorn and that of this 8-year-old girl. Thank you.
Ooh, she gave a little bit what for, and then Harris Faulkner said, hell yeah.
Well, that was quite the mic drop, because that's actually true what that grandfather and his daughter were saying after their little 8-year-old was gunned down outside that Wendy's. The mom was trying to go around the barrier that those people had set up, and when they didn't even bother to identify, well, who might this person be? It wasn't officially set up by the government, by police, or anybody like that. These were protesters or people who were out there, and that child is dead. And the question looms today, do Black Lives matter or not? And who do they matter to? The mayor saying enough is enough of the city of Atlanta.
What did I say about Black Lives Matter earlier? They are a Marxist, anarcho-communist group bent on overthrowing the country. They don't give a damn about Black lives. They certainly don't give a damn about the real Black lives. I mean, the larger number of Black lives being lost in this country at the hands of other Black people, and the decay of African American society in major cities in the country. And it's horrifically sad. And that you would say that systematic racism holds down all Black people is to really, really belittle the greatness that has been achieved, the invention, the innovation, the fame, the wealth that so many have been able to achieve. So many have been able to achieve, and it whizzes on all of that. George Washington Carver, Oprah Winfrey. I could go on and on and on. Hattie McDaniel, first Oscar winner. Halle Berry, first lead actress, Oscar winner. And those are just, I mean, keep going, keep going, keep going. The historical figures, Frederick Douglass. It cheapens their accomplishments. It cheapens them by saying that systematic racism holds everybody down, because it doesn't. And the day you show me the exact piece of legislation that holds Black people down, then we can have a discussion and we can fix it. But in the meantime, we have a murder rate in the inner city of 10 times the national average. Okay? 10 times the national average Black on Black violence. I believe it was 9 or 11 Black people were killed by police who are unarmed last year. Twice as many white people. Okay? Yes, when these things happen at the hands of police, and it is a murder or a certainly manslaughter or something that went way too far and resulted in the death of somebody, they have to be punished. But to say that there is systematic racism in police departments across the country, you're high. You're high, you're an idiot, and you are going to be the end of the country. But I'm going to let that stop before it can start. Here's how it started this weekend before the 8-year-old girl was murdered by a Black Lives Matter protester in Atlanta. Oddly enough, a Black girl. There was some jackass who was drifting, I guess, during the big old Black Lives Matter protest, and then it started getting ugly. So here it is. He's drifting with a crowd of people around, really smart, and he hits another car. I don't know exactly what she's trying to accomplish there, but I guess she thinks it's cool that somebody smashed into another person. And this is where it started to escalate a little bit. Okay, so they're just having a little bit of fun, somebody drifting there, and then it started to get ugly, and here's where it really started getting ugly, and people started getting shot. Hey, it's mostly peaceful except for that person shooting the hell out of some people. Mostly peaceful. There you go. Now here's the story of the 8-year-old girl who was murdered by a Black Lives Matter protester at a Black Lives Matter protest, and she was black. And here's the mayor, Keisha Lance Bottoms, who was perfectly fine with all these protests, defunding the police.
We are shooting each other up on our streets in the city, and you shot and killed a baby. And it wasn't one shooter, there were at least 2 shooters. An 8-year-old baby.
I've been talking about this for 30 years.
We are doing...
But I'm white, so I can't say anything.
...each other more harm than any police officer on this force. We've had over 75 shootings in this city over the past several weeks. You can't blame that on APD.
Secoria Turner was killed after her mother, Charmine, who's sitting there, drove through an illegal barricade that had been set up by activists around the restaurant where Brooks was shot dead by police officers while being arrested. And this is Mr. Brooks, Rayshard Brooks, who died in Atlanta a month ago because he was high, drunk out of his mind, passed out in a Wendy's, which was subsequently burnt down by his girlfriend. He had PCP in his system, meth in his system, alcohol in his system, and he fought police. He actually caused the one officer to have a concussion before he grabbed his taser, turned to tase an officer in pursuit. The other officer had a concussion, was out on the ground, and the officer shot him.
It's a lot of change that has to happen across...
And he should have.
...across this country. And police reform is a big part of it. But we also got to reform our own communities.
What? Again, I've been saying this for 30 years, but I'm a white guy.
So if you are a part of a protest or a demonstration that looks like it's going the wrong way, that's your time to pull back, because you are no longer a part of the solution. You are a part of the problem.
Okay. This is hard for me to watch. This is her father talking about the loss of his daughter, and I cannot imagine the pain he's feeling. But you see, he is in shock. This is a man who is in shock that his little baby girl is gone, the one that he's invested so much of his love and his life into. Like the 19-year-old young man who was killed in Seattle at the Chaz Zone, and the father was called by the president. The mayor hasn't called yet. And he's invested 20 years of his life loving, raising this child who's killed in a heartbeat. Here's the father of Secoria Turner.
They say Black Lives Matter. You killed your own. Killed your own this time. Just because of a barrier. They killed my baby because she crossed the barrier and made a U-turn. You killed a child. She didn't do nothing to nobody.
They didn't give us time to make a U-turn. They started shooting on my car before we could even make a U-turn. Shooting my tires out. Like, why?
But Black Lives Matter.
My baby was shot in her bed.
Killing your own.
Nobody there to help
You
me.
killed an 8-year-old child.
Nobody.
She ain't did nothing to now one of y'all. She just wanted to get home to see her cousin. That's all she wanted to do. She just wanted to get home.
Just wanted to get home to do what 8-year-olds do. Oh, I'm sorry. This kills me, man. I've been talking about this forever. Chicago shootings up 40%, homicides up 30%. 7-year-old boy visiting her a girl visiting her grandmother, 14-year-old boy in Chicago were murdered over July 4th weekend. There's so many stats, I can't keep track of them. So many kids who died. Can't keep track of them. Lance Bottoms, for a moment, had a moment of clarity. Had a moment of clarity about the real cause of what's happening here. Over the weekend, Philadelphia, 14 injured, 5 dead. Baltimore, 8 injured, 1 killed. Detroit, 5 injured, 2 killed. Greenville, 8 injured, 2 killed. Memphis, 4 injured, 1 killed. Omaha, 8 injured. St. Louis, 11 injured, 3 killed. 21-year-old killed, 23-year-old, 19-year-old, 27-year-old, 29-year-old, 7-year-old, 4-year-old, 1-year-old. Where we live? We live in Beirut. Where the hell do we live? Where the hell do we effing live? Dear Lord. Hi, Tim. How are you? But here is Keisha Lance Bottoms, even though she had a moment of clarity, decided to get all cloudy again with idiocy, saying it's all about institutional racism.
How could this happen?
You know, Brooke, that's the question that we're all asking ourselves.
Sequoia
and
Turner
ironically,
right
I found a note on my desk, and I don't even know the context in which I wrote this out, but I said, I don't know the answers because I often don't even know the questions to ask. And I was listening,
which is nonsensical,
to Mayor Lightfoot. She summed it up. We talk about systemic racism and the trauma and anxiety and all these things that are happening in our communities, and it is this convergence. And
what about the poor choices in life? What about dropping out of school? What about Democrats who have been in power? What about Democrat-run schools that are absolute crap, where nobody is performing at a grade level in the entire city of Baltimore in math, among other things, where misogyny and violence is celebrated in culture, where 40 to 70% of black babies are aborted before they are born. They are aborted. They are killed in the womb. The millions of lives that have been lost. It's the greatest Holocaust in the history of mankind, and it happened right here. And instead of Jewish people or Armenians, it was black people in our country. It was black children, and it was done voluntarily by Planned Parenthood and other organizations. Planned Parenthood created by Margaret Sanger with the express purpose of eugenics to ruin and kill the black community. And my God, has it worked beautifully. 80% of births out of wedlock, 80% of inner city kids being raised without fathers in the home. And she's talking about systemic racism. Are you out of your nut?
I hate to use the word a perfect storm, but it's where we are in this country.
Shelby asks, were all those people killed during protests? Oh, no. This is just life in Chicago and life in New York. Those weren't protests. That was just life. That's just life in the inner city in this country. Yeah, not during protests. No. Because the protests are mostly peaceful. Only a few people die there. Yeah. Lori Lightfoot, who is just a complete moron, Chicago mayor. And Chicago has had 17 deaths this week, 15 last week, 17 before, 34, 44, and 5, 50, 44 and 5, 49 or 51 deaths in Chicago the last 3 weekends. Over 100 shootings in Chicago. Seriously, WTF. But here she is saying it's got to be COVID and guns.
Complicates the situation. As Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot tells me, they're all factors contributing to this grim reality. Compared to last year, shootings up 40%, homicides up more than 30%. So just point blank, what is happening right now?
I believe that Beetlejuice is one of her cousins. I could be wrong.
All these forces are coming together at the same time and making it very difficult.
You mean like they have every weekend in Chicago for decades?
Ecosystem of public safety that isn't just law enforcement, but is local, community-based. And they, too, have really been hit hard by COVID and are now just kind of coming back online and getting their footing.
So you're healthy enough to go out and murder again. That's awesome.
And what makes it almost doubly impactful in the worst way imaginable is many of these same communities that were being hit hardest by the coronavirus are also being hit hardest by gun violence. The way one family put it to me of a 3-year-old who died, we now have children carrying the caskets of children.
Yeah, and it's been going on forever, and it's not COVID's fault. No, it's not. And it's not systemic racism. Sorry, it's not. But I'm a racist. But what is it? This jackass who calls me online, racist Rob. I'm racist Rob. That's the best he can do. Because when you lose an argument, you call people names, and then that's all you got. You just call people names. It's really idiotic. Anyway, please share on Facebook, and if you can, order a shirt right here. tpublic.com/conservatees. You can put that on. You can put it on T-shirts. You can put it on phone cases. You can put it on. I'm done with the NFL. I like that one. That's my favorite. I've already ordered that. tpublic.com/conservatees. I'm going to go ahead and just put that on the scroll so you just know exactly what to do. Here you go. I only add that. Let me do that. Add this right here. That way, there you go. So you know. The last time I put this up, Facebook banned me. So hopefully they won't ban me. But you can order all those designs right up there. So, the armed couple in St. Louis, the folks, the Black Lives Matter protesters went into Mark McCluskey and his wife Patricia's neighborhood a couple weeks ago, and Mark and his wife would have nothing to do with it, and they said bullshit, and they went and got their guns, and they said, you are in a neighborhood that is a gated community, it is not public property, you have no right to be here, and they're absolutely right. And technically, they could have stood in the street with their guns and said, get the F out, or I'm going to shoot you. They could have. Because it's a private street, it's not a public street. That said, the protesters decided to come back just to harass them a little bit more. This time they had security and they didn't have to stand in their yard to keep the horde off of their yard.
No peace! No peace! No peace!
Now that's a threat, by the way. No justice, no peace is a threat. You are saying no justice, no peace, and what is the opposite of peace? It is war or violence. That is a threat.
They don't get no peace. And they don't get no peace.
And we don't have an original thought, so we have to repeat that guy. And we have to repeat that guy.
And they don't get no peace.
And when we're not saying that, we're saying, hey, hey, ho, ho, that's the way to go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, we don't want no 2x4s or whatever the hell, whatever. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. God help me. I will never go to something like that where I have to repeat some jackass's slogans on a bullhorn. 2 words for you. Bat, bat. There you go. God, you people are so you're sheeple. You are just sheeple. My God. Oh, this is so nice. I'm going to share something with you that is, and I'm just sharing. And Ron, thanks for saying great stuff. I appreciate it. What I'm going to show you is graphic and tragic. 63 people were shot in New York over the weekend, 11 fatally. This is New York City. Gigantic increase in shootings. Gun violence has increased 130% in June. More than 205 shootings. Why has this happened? Coronavirus, right? No, because they have a jackass mayor who effed up the coronavirus response, and so did the governor, and twice as many people died, elderly people died in nursing homes because of coronavirus, and then died during 9/11. They failed there, and then with all the violence following. Remember George Floyd, he died. That was what this is supposed to be all about. George Floyd, Minneapolis, in case you didn't know. George Floyd in Minneapolis. I know that Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, they don't know that. Hold on, let's get them up again here. Hold on. Yeah, just to remind you, folks, that it is George Floyd.
To the Congressional Black Caucus who have shaped the bill.
His name.
But I only will do that if you tell me that this legislation is worthy of George Kirby's name.
Yeah, it's George Floyd. The whole thing has been about George Floyd. George
proud to carry that.
Floyd, he's a guy.
Who do you believe?
Yeah.
When it comes to civil rights and police accountability?
Yeah.
Mitch McConnell or the lawyer for the families of Floyd Taylor?
This George Floyd.
George Taylor.
No, it's George Floyd. Yeah.
And Breonna Taylor.
I'm going to believe somebody who can actually remember who he is. Ron says those protesters look like mindless zombies. They're Democrats, dude. Durr. The only thing is that, when they're around each other, they'd starve to death because there are no brains to consume. Thank you. Thank you very much. So back to New York City. So this little 4-year-old girl is walking with her dad. And oddly enough, this is 2 days ago, And this man is walking with his 4-year-old daughter. He's 29-year-old, and he was shot dead in front of his daughter. And it makes you wonder what kind of person who would murder a man next to their 4-year-old daughter. First of all, presumably a man. Second of all, what kind of society we live in where this would happen. No suspects have been arrested. Now here, I'll just show you the censored version, and then I will give you a warning on the uncensored version. And then I'm going to tell you what yesterday was, which was really a kick in the teeth. This is an intersection. Here's Dad. He's getting ready to walk across the street with his daughter. Other day, his little 4-year-old daughter, hand in hand. I believe she was 6. I apologize. Walking across the street, here comes the gun and the car with the murderer, and there comes the gun, and the gun is pointed. Okay. Now, if you want to watch this, then I will show it to you. If you want to turn away for a second or close your eyes or lower your head, whatever, but I'm going to show you the entire event. Again, this is a 29-year-old man shot dead. No, it's 4-year-old daughter. I apologize. 4-year-old daughter being shot as they just walked across the street. And I want you to see her reaction as she runs in terror. She doesn't know what's going on, and she's just witnessed. She doesn't know because she's still in shock. She doesn't know what she's happened. She's 4 years old. She's been on the planet 4 years. All she knows is she heard bang, 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 and Daddy's lying on the ground. And this is a child's life changed forever. This is a nightmare forever. This is happening because lawlessness has been allowed to reign supreme with governments and municipalities and city councils across the country giving criminals free reign, saying that we are going to defund the police. What does that do? It means you can do anything you want. You ever see the movie The Crow? Remember The Crow? And it was Devil's Night in Detroit, where there was lawlessness. The police couldn't do anything about it. I love that movie, by the way. Love that movie. Or RoboCop, kind of the same thing. That's what we're seeing, this kind of dystopian future. We really are. But the president or the mayor of New York is doing the no bail policy, so you can do just about anything and not pay bail and get out and go commit more crime. And then has said, we're going to defund the police. People were cracking open bottles of Prosecco the other day, just partying. Why would you be toasting the police department defunding? Because you know that you're going to be able to become rich, and you're going to be able to steal, and you're going to be able to commit crime, and being evil is pretty easy. Actually, it's a lot easier than being good. It really is. So here is the extended of this little girl losing her father in the city of New York, where the police department is being defunded by $1 billion, where plainclothes officers are going bye-bye, and here she is being gunned down. And hi, Kaylin. I'm glad to have you joining me tonight, even though we disagree. Here we are. And here comes the shooting. Turn away if you don't want to watch this. There's the shooter. There's father falling to the ground, and there's the little girl running. Who does that? Who does that? 5 children killed nationally this weekend. 5 precious little children killed. I did a meme about it. Let me see if I can find it. I did a meme about it because it's so tragic, and I don't care what your skin color is. I don't care. I don't care what your skin color is. Do you know what would be happening if this happened to a white kid in Overland Park? I'm just saying. Do you know? Do you have any idea what would happen if it was a white kid in Overland Park or Ladue in St. Louis, or wherever you name your suburb? It would be there would be all hell to pay. But because it's a black kid and a black father in the inner city. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Here's the meme that I created. Let me just save it as that. and show you the meme that I created. Here it is. This is one of the, I do a lot of memes. I have a thing called In the Meme Time that I like to do. But here's what I did. Right there. There you go. This is just this weekend in America, people. Boom. 4 of the 7 precious babies killed over the weekend. There's 7 children killed. That little boy on the left there was 11. And he had a very promising, all of these kids. Look at this little boy in the third from the right, probably maybe his first day at school. Four of the 7 precious babies killed in America over the weekend, not one killed by police, so Democrats think they don't matter. Look at them right there. Look at them. Why do these children have to die? Why do these kids have to die? Why does this happen every weekend? Why would children this age have to die? Why would an infant have to die in a car seat? These lives, all of the potential they had, all the glorious and wonderful potential that they had in life is gone. Oh my God in heaven. Oh my God in heaven. But let's go tear down a statue of Christopher Columbus. Let's do that. And let's have Ilhan Omar talk about how we need to take the country back and become a communist country. Let's just do that. I've been talking about this for 30 effing years. Since my infancy in broadcasting, I've been talking about this. Nobody listens. I've been in inner cities. I've been a part of inner city programs where we held workshops on protection, and I'd go to the suburbs, and all the parents would be there, and I'd go to the inner city, and none of the parents would be there. And I look and I work with organizations like AdoptUSKids.org and Foster Adopt Connect, and I see the lion's share of the children who are in foster care are generally children of color. 25% of them actually age out of the system before they ever get real families. I've been through this. I've seen this. I've read the statistics, but because I'm white, because of the melanin in my skin, it doesn't make any difference, and I'm a racist. I'm so done. I will not be called a racist anymore. As soon as you use the R word on me, you're gone. You are gone. You are not allowed on any of my social media. You are not going to use that word. Sorry. My pages. Here's what's going to happen if Joe Biden becomes president. I thought this was a great ad by Donald Trump, and it's not far from the truth at all. It is the truth. If you're going to defund the police and you're going to allow what happened, you're going to see the increase in crime in places like Chicago and New York, which is up 200% and all of this. And it's happening because of these policies and this idiot, this feeble old man who should have had his keys taken away from him 10 years ago and should be eating nothing but soft food chopped up for him in a nursing home, doesn't have the intelligence, I should say, doesn't have the mental acuity to work at Walmart. And this is what happened if he'll become president.
You have reached the 911 police emergency line. Due to defunding of the police department, we're sorry, but no one is here to take your call. If you're calling to report a rape, please press 1. To report a murder, press 2. To report a home invasion, press 3. For all other crimes, leave your name and number, and someone will get back to you. Our estimated wait time is currently 5 days. Goodbye.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
I do too, actually, because it's true. Yeah, all those pictures you just saw there, that's America in 2020. And that is being endorsed by the Democrat Party. It is being endorsed by the Democrat Party. Nobody's speaking out against it. Nobody's saying that send in the National Guard. Nobody is saying restore order, except for this president. It's endorsed by the Democrat Party. This is another attempted coup. Another attempted coup, this time with violence and intimidation. Kind of want to move on here. I've been really heavy on this, and I want to kind of move on. Would it be okay? Can I move on a little bit? Maybe lighten things up a little bit. Would that be cool, Margie? And Dave and Randy and Kaylin. And Kaylin, I want to say thank you. Kalen, this is a message for you, okay? I admire you. You are an outstanding young man. When I see someone like you, even though we are a different color, I think of you as kind of a son-like figure because I admire you and I respect you. And you have a terrific sense of humor. And you have all the potential in the world. You can do anything with your life. You are a smart man. You are a funny man. You can do anything. And I know that you have experienced racism. And I will never take away from that. Okay? I never will. But you can do anything. So I just want you to know that I respect you. I really do. I think you're an outstanding human being. And I'm glad that I got to know you. Because I would have never met you just staying in radio. I would have never met you. There are a lot of people I would have never met if I hadn't started selling cars because I had to save my marriage and my life. I met a lot. I learned a lot. And ultimately, my life has become richer. It's not been a lot of fun, you know. But I built a studio and I'm doing this and I got a TV show on Newsmax TV. And look, Kalen, even a guy in his early 50s can reinvent himself in this country, and I know I have, whatever. I'm a white guy, but trust me, radio has shut me out for a variety of reasons. Several people have. So I've got my own barricades that I need to knock down. Just wanted you to know. Just wanted you to know. All right, let's move on. I'm going to move on from that. Let's do Costco Karen. Okay. Now, Costco Karen. People are calling Karen. A lot of people are calling the word Karen, and Karen can mean a variety of things. I think that Karen means that you are a busybody. You are a busybody. You're involved in other people's business. You are offended by everything. I identified Karen in the 1990s in Minneapolis because there were times that I would say something on the radio that someone would find offensive, and then somebody call me and say, it's very offensive to Native Americans. And I would say, are you a Native American? And they go, no, but I know someone who is. And that's when I identified Karen the very first time. And Karen is a liberal suburban mother, or maybe not a mother, could be a mother, a liberal suburbanite white woman who wants to step forward and be offended for people. Well, Karen has segued into other things. Karen is also somebody who approaches kids in parks because COVID and they're not at home. Karen went after a guy in New York for unleashing his dogs, and then they called the police and said that the black man was trying to attack her. So Karen has kind of evolved a little bit, or devolved, one or the other, and the American Girl doll company not happy about it because somebody came up with the new Meet Karen 2020 Girl of the Year. She's an independent thinker who refuses to wear a mask in public places. That's Karen right there, Karen. And I've known that Karen has existed for a very, very long time. That said, here is a Karen in Costco who was asked to wear a mask at Costco in Hillsboro, Oregon, and she decided to go full on Karen. Here it is. Kind of an older Karen there in the pink shirt, I guess. Apparently, she's not a Costco member. The person, you got to wear a mask. First of all, I do not like wearing masks, and I will not wear a mask in public. But if a business tells me to wear a mask when I go in the business, then I'm gonna go and wear the mask, or I'm not going to shop there. That's it. That's what they require. If they require I wear my underwear on the outside of my pants, I will do it, or I won't shop there. She's right. It's private property. Okay, it's going to get better. Here we go. Let's move forward. Oh, she sat down. Here we go. Yeah. She decided to sit down. Hold on. Maybe she is a member of Black Lives Matter. Just sit there in the middle of traffic. Like the Antifa protest. Here she goes. They're leading her out. Do you have your receipt? Make sure to check your receipt. Like you could steal something from Costco. Yeah, I'm going to steal this 3-gallon jar of pasta sauce. Yeah, it is. Go ahead and check my receipt. I'm just going to sit right here. I was talking about the generation that the candy aisle, this is like the older version of that. She has not aged well. Can you imagine what is wrong with you that you would do that?
Can I get you a chair up front? There's a place to sit.
Hi, Felix. Hi, Margie. Hi, Randy. Okay, just go sit there. That's fine. It's going to be a lot harder to get back up at your age. I mean, it's going to be, trust me. Here we go. Okay. I'm going to go sit over here. Okay. This is great. I haven't seen this whole video clip yet. This is really awesome. How long does she stay there? Yeah, just go. Go buy your gallon of peanut butter somewhere else. Go. I like Costco. I'm a Costco member and a Sam's Club member. I like them both. And if they tell me to wear a mask, I'm going to wear a mask. That's all. What I'm going to do? Halle Berry has decided to pull out of a role. She was going to play a transgender male. She had come under fire. Now, she was in, the Monster Ball. Was it Monster Ball or was it? I just thought it was Monster. She won the Oscar for. Anyway, Halle Berry has decided to pull out of the musical, and I'm trying to figure out what transgender. I'm not meaning to be offensive, because I wouldn't want to offend anybody. Because the First Amendment, and we live in the freest country as far as speech. At least we used to, where the First Amendment guaranteed you could offend or be offended without going to jail. That said, she just decided she's not going to play a transgendered male, which means that I'm assuming when you say transgender, the male is the end result. So she's a woman who became a man. That's the role. And she said, as a cisgendered woman, I now understand that I should have not considered the role, and that the transgender community should undeniably have the opportunity to tell their own stories. Now, the interesting thing is, I believe that actors, correct me if I'm wrong, actors play other people. So, I am not Julius Caesar. Can I play Julius Caesar? Let's see. Remember Victor Victoria? Victor Victoria, that's going to have to be canceled now. Victor Victoria is going to have to be canceled because Julie Andrews played a woman playing a man playing a woman. I don't remember what the hell it was. I saw it on stage in Minneapolis. It was fantastic. Thank you. So anyway, here she is talking about being excited to play the transgender person.
Would you ever go back that short?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm thinking of a character where this woman is a trans character. There is going to have to be, she's a woman that transitioned into a man.
Wow.
Really, she's a character in a project Love, and I might be doing
that. I'm going to knock on all the things. Would that be something like, while we're on that subject, like would something like that, in addition to something else, I guess my question.
Okay, but then basically she was excited about it doing that because challenge as an actor to play somebody this role, but now she can't because you've got to be a transgendered male, which is a woman who had that operation, the addictomy. Oldest joke in the world. But that she couldn't do that. So now you've got the blackface, and that's gotten a lot of people in trouble. Governor now Ralph Northam of Virginia, Jimmy Fallon, Ted Danson, Jimmy Kimmel. Those guys are all on hiatus. At least Fallon and Kimmel are on hiatus because they did blackface, but they didn't do blackface. You see, they just did black characters. Jimmy Kimmel impersonated one of his friends. Jimmy Fallon impersonated one of his friends, Chris Rock, and so it wasn't blackface. It was bullshit. It was not. That said, they are very left of center, and they support all this other, witch burning when it comes to supposed blackface. So, tough titty said the kitty. Anyway, so Halle Berry cannot play this. So you can't do blackface if you're white. And now, apparently, like on The Simpsons and Cleveland, they were black and people of color, their voices. Apu's played by what's his name? Hank Azaria, and then this guy, Cleveland, he's 23 years he's been playing this role. He's a white guy playing a black guy, and he said he can't do it anymore. So now you can't do black voice. So now I would assume that if you are an actor, that you can't like do vagina face. If you're a man and you want to do a transgendered female, or you can't be a penis face. You can't do penis face if you're the opposite there. It's really quite extraordinarily stupid. And I would assume that the only role now that Halle Berry can play is Halle Berry in her biopic or biopic, whatever you want to call it. I'm just saying. It kind of makes sense, right? Okay. Oh, this is really funny. There's a protest in Washington, D.C. over the weekend. It's a Black Lives Matter protest. But watch the monochromatic tone of this protest.
Police! No peace!
No justice, no peace. I can't repeat. I can only repeat what people say.
Police! No peace!
Can you imagine? It would be very easy to take them to a restaurant. You get just order for them. It's like a cheeseburger, and fries, and a large Diet Coke, and a large Diet Coke.
Jorge Ventura for the Daily Caller.
Just get everybody on the bus, pull into the McDonald's drive-thru, and just do that, and everybody's ordered for.
Live on the ground here in Washington, D.C. It's a little bit past 11 in the morning, and protests are already underway here.
Boy, I hope somebody brought their sunscreen, because there's a whole lot of pale white flesh in that march.
Washington, D.C., this protest is making its way down to Black Lives Matter Plaza.
No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace.
And we'll keep you guys updated.
Seriously, is there a Starbucks along here that has not been had a burning dumpster rolled through it? Because I would really like to have a caramel macchiato right about now.
Throughout the day on these protests.
But I mean, capitalism is bad and communism is awesome.
On this July 4th.
Seriously, maybe just a latte, just a vanilla skim latte. Whatever, anyway. Okay. Here is protesters talking about how mean the police are to them. This is really funny.
They took thousands of us. They took us into a tunnel underneath the Hart Plaza.
This is in New York, where protesters who were violent were arrested and put in custody.
We were sad and crying and bleeding and broken. Cutting off her circulation.
Cutting off her circulation. Cutting off her circulation. Her circulation is the.
If I lose my hand, no AC.
I do that at night, just like when I'm on the pillow. I'll cut off my circulation, and I'll wake up and be like, I can't feel my hand. My circulation.
Here, they've locked us in here for well over an hour. They've turned off the air conditioner and they turned off the lights earlier. And everyone's blood circulation is completely cut off.
Everybody's blood circulation is completely cut off. I think the circulation to their heads has been cut off too. Getting so you just can't even, burn stuff and wreck stuff and steal stuff, and they put these things on your hands and you lose your circulation, and it's just a bad scene. Terrible. So there was a road rage incident in Canada, and a woman decided to get out she was a concealed carry person. She was carrying a dog. So a video shows a woman pulling a dog out of the car. She used it to whip its owner with a leash. Two struggled for a few seconds before the owner took the dog back, and then apparently the dog was used as a weapon. Here's a little bit of the dog. The dog has not been. No dogs were harmed in the filming of this. So here's the argument ensuing. I don't know what's going on there. Two people in the car and the road rage, and they're in 2,000-pound vehicles or 4,000-pound vehicles, and they're made of steel. And hold on, the puppy thing's coming up here. They actually use the dog as a weapon. Hold on. They're shoving, a little punchy, a little punchy. Little open the door coming here. God, there we go. There's the okay. Got the dog. Okay, I'm going to use the dog as a weapon. That is wow. Using the woman's dog as a weapon. My God in heaven, what the hell? Police eventually arrived on the scene, but neither wanted to press charges. What about the dog? Dog's like, you're not gonna press charges? They used me as a weapon. They swung me by my neck. What the hell? You're not gonna press? What the hell? Here's something that's kind of fun, actually. Just people getting really drunk and jumping off roofs into their backyard. Swimming pool. So apparently this is happening. A 4th of July celebration. Cell phone footage caught this. Not sure exactly what happened, but two people, a man and a woman, I'm assuming alcohol must have had something to do with this, but they decided to jump off the roof, and there was a problem. There was a roof below it, and they didn't quite clear the roof below it, and consequently, this happened. This does get quite painful, but she was not injured, apparently. Here we go. Jump. Oh, God! Let's watch that again. Here she's obviously probably in a lot of pain, and she's going to hold her fist in the air like, it was cool. I meant to do that. It's cool. Yeah, fist in the air. Woo! I meant to look like a complete idiot and almost kill myself and break my neck and, all that. Yeah, I meant to do that. Ha, ha, ha. Jerry, what's going on? And Felix, hello. Jerry in Washington. You're not in Washington anymore. Tell your lovely wife I said hello. Miss hanging out with you guys. You guys are cool people. Miss living in the Washington, D.C. area. Actually, it was glorious. It was a lot of fun. So one more story before I go, and I do appreciate you joining me. Check the T-shirts. There's a new one. Nah, not going to wear a mask. I'll start listening when you stop burning shit. It didn't say shit, though. You're okay. It does, but it doesn't. Hashtag done with the NBA. Hashtag done with the NFL. Okay. So I'm going to choose, I'm going to get rid of all of my jerseys. Over the years, I've lived in Cincinnati and Washington, D.C., and Minneapolis and Kansas City, and I'm going to donate all of my jerseys and maybe burn one of them. If I can get a Colin Kaepernick jersey, I'm going to burn it. And then I'm going to get one of my shirts, and I'm going to get the hashtag done with the NFL because I'm done. And Colin Kaepernick insists on kneeling, and now everybody's kneeling and all this stuff, and done. And they're talking about playing an individual black national anthem before the first game, and I'm done. Because this is the slippery slope you go down, which becomes separate drinking fountains and separate bathrooms. And on campuses, they're doing separate black houses. I mean, really, is this where you're going to this is where you want to go? Is this where you want to go? So, 16-year-old Russian footballer, apparently he's okay. He was put in a coma and left a scar around his neck. Apparently, he was wearing a necklace when it was struck by lightning. He's standing there. This metal chain was struck by lightning. Now, I want you to watch this because this is really, 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 really scary because it looks like this kid has been completely vaporized. Watch this. Here he is. Here comes the lightning strike. Boom! Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Well, apparently that's him there, that little thing right there. That right there. Okay, you see that on the ground there? That's apparently him. I thought he got vaporized. Look at this. Look at the smoke. Look at the smoke. There he is. There he is. That's him. That's him laying there. Let's watch it. Is there somebody getting hit by lightning? And boom. Look at this. Look at the smoke. Boom. Whoa. Can you even imagine? Now, this is interesting because I have a friend who was just hit by lightning the other day. Literally hit by lightning the other day. And I was listening to his podcast. And hold on, I just got a note here just real quick. I want to get this real quick here. Thank you. All right, gotcha. But anyway, my buddy Jeremy Hansen was... Jerry Hansen does a podcast, and he's a really great guy. He lives in Springfield, Missouri. He's done a very good job with his audio podcast. And he was at I don't know if he was fishing with his kid or whatever, but he got in the car, and right as he got in the car, the door was struck by lightning. He was shocked. His daughter wasn't, but he said he felt the hair going up. Whenever you feel that, it's like you rub your hair with a balloon. You get that right before the lightning strikes you. He was not injured, but it scared the, right out of him. but he's okay. Jeremy Hansen, check out his show. He's really good. Time for me to go. Travis and Sarah and Jerry and Randy and Kaylin and Tim and Carol. And on the other channels, Travis and Ronald and Barry. And all you guys. And Floyd and David and Marco. Thanks for watching tonight. I do appreciate it. It looks like we didn't have any issues with the bandwidth, because I pack a lot of bandwidth of this podcast. If you would, please subscribe. My YouTube channel is Rob Carson Show, YouTube Rob Carson Show. Also, if you want to check out Newsmax TV, my show is on the weekends 3 times. It's all comedy all the time. It's a half-hour show, Rob Carson's What in the World? And it runs 3 times. Great things are going to happen, I think, for the country. I know it's coming around the corner, and I think people have had enough. Don't freak out. Be strong. Defend yourself. Defend the country. Don't be ashamed of it. Okay? And, don't F with Mount Rushmore, because I will be part of the caravan that goes there to protect it. So have a glorious evening. Order a T-shirt, will you? One of these designs. Hashtag done with the NFL. Hashtag done with the NBA. Nah. To wearing face masks all the time. And, of course, I'll start listening when you stop burning. Schnikey. Guys, have a glorious evening. God bless you. And I will see you again very soon. Bye.